Well, here we go then. nosfa taking on cha1n is the next game that will be coming up tonight. The final matchup before we slip our way into our featured fights. Dan, this should be quite an exciting one. cha1n certainly been kicking up a fuss. I think he's been going to prove, right, that he's grown exponentially. A meteoric rise over the course of every stage of the QPL. He's pushed himself to new heights every time he gets an opportunity to.
Yeah, definitely. He just keeps on getting better. I think he found his level now, and so it's interesting to see how he now develops. I think he's realised and accepts, and is the first person to point out there's still so much he can build upon. And I want to see him do it, and I want to see him do it this stage because he's definitely got so much potential and has such a distinct and unique playstyle. So if he can take that to another level and become even more aggressive for me, I think that's the next step for him. Then that's when he becomes even more scary.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be super sick to see how he goes, especially when you think about the fact that over the course of this season, right, it's a little bit longer. We're going to get quite a few weeks to watch him grow this season. With the performance he had in the bracket play, I think there's a lot that he could be displaying to us. We do have to talk about, of course, his opponent as well, though. nosfa, someone that at times can take maps off the best. He's quite an aggressive player in terms of his play style, was always really explosive to watch. You get him on a map like a cha1n, you just wind him up and you let him go. And it's fun to see some of the plays that he can pull out. In terms of these two going head-to-head, what are we thinking?
I think you have to favour cha1n. He's the guy with the more pedigree now. He's shown more consistent results over the course of the past 2 or 3 stages at the very least. And he's the one that's been impressing. I think nosfa, as you said, has it in him when he finds his day and has his groove to really take maps away. And there's nothing to say he wouldn't be able to take at least one map away. But I think that's where I would leave it for now. I think this will probably end up a 3-0 for cha1n, but I would not be surprised if nosfa did take a map off him.
We'll see if maybe there's anything in the veto that could potentially swing you slightly. We'll have a look and we'll get into it and see what that is saying about the situation. All right. Actually, again, Ruins being the one consistent we've had all day. We've had it in every single series, and Ruins is going to continue to be that, being the opening map for this one. We then get Vale once again, and finally Corrupted keep that.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw Vale coming back into the pool was cha1n's going to love this, because I remember him back in last season consistently picking Vale, and it was his effectively home territory, and he loves a keel. Again, North Americans bringing out the keel, and we'll be interested to see how this matchup differs to the one we saw earlier in the day, because we saw this exact matchup, Ranger versus Keel, and it was Dahang picking out the Ranger, coming out on top. So keen to see how cha1n plays the Keel differently. Ruins, Strog versus Galena, we've seen that a few times today, not on Ruins per se, but we have seen that matchup, so we know how it plays out. Strog, Ruins is a very good map for Strog, but you can then use that Galena incredibly defensively, particularly down in the heavy, and really isolate that particular item and build your stack from there. Also a good map to use the totems and get that overstack up, so I expect cha1n to be able to do that. And then we end up on Corrupted Keep, a very, very meta matchup there with the BJ versus the Doom, both very strong in their own right.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the dream. For me, I think that's the gem at the end. I think that's the big shining matchup that we get at the end of the series. Corrupted Keep, both of those players on champions that I think they are quite flamboyant with. I think that's going to be really fun. We talk about kicking it off though, right? You get Strog and Pika coming out for nosfa as well. Another champion that he is proficient with. He gets some good Pika plays at times, but it's more so the fact that the way he plays Strog just allows him to be a bit more aggressive with his rail. And any opportunity for nosfa to get aggressive, that for me is, that's the dream. That's what you want to see him in a position where he can play with speed, he can play with tempo. He's such a good player at being able to set the pace of the game when he can come out swinging. You put him on Strog and Pika, he can crouch slide into your face and just kick off that.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If he can find his tempo and raise the pace of the game and begins to hit his rail, that's when it becomes really scary. Yeah. But cha1n is the master of being able to prevent that, to withhold the map and keep it manageable. He plays so well positionally. He's the one often taking the initiative with the rail and then picks and chooses when to capitalize upon that. So I think nosfa, because of that, is going to find it incredibly hard.
We'll see how it goes. It looks like we're starting to load our way into it. First map being Ruins here. We've had it in every single series tonight, and it's been sick. We've had some great games of Ruins. Again, this could be one of them. nosfa taking on cha1n. It's a best of 3. To start it off, we get Strog and Pika going head-to-head versus Galena. The good luck, have funs are dropped, and we start to make our move. Starting off on the POV of the Brazilian man himself, as the Strog and Pika is out on parade. Shotgun from a substantial distance, doing 4 damage.
Not optimal.
Any little helps, Dan?
This is true. Take it.
You never know. You never know when you might need that 4 damage to close out a kill. So
hugely delayed the Mega as well. So cha1n has a massive upper hand, exchanging the rail early. Now he's in position for the heavy. Not the start you want if you're a Brazilian fan.
Oh, a very yellow railgun. There's nosfa. He's floating a little bit like a bumblebee. He's certainly stinging like one as well, as he will be able to hit him quite hard. Doesn't matter too much though. cha1n with the antiseptic wipes, buffing out the damage and getting himself straight back into the game with a Mega immediately. Both of them pulling out the LG at the same time. Ooh, their HP bars were in tandem in the way they were falling down.
Yeah, not bad. 78% lightning gun from nosfa, but again, the stack advantage was not there. The 4 damage from earlier not doing enough. And now cha1n is in prime position. Big old split between the 2 major items. This is troublesome for nosfa. He needs to break this stranglehold that cha1n already has on Ruins.
cha1n really wanted to get himself into a position where he can dish out the pain. And use those totems to keep himself topped up and full to the brim when it comes to HP. Taking down the Pika as it charges towards his face. Rockets going down as well to cause nosfa to slide off the stairs and retreat to a better position. cha1n, though, he won't recoil. Instead, he'll progress further forward. Darts up towards the Mega, grabs it, and gets himself into an angle where he can hit a hefty shot and the follow-up and gets the heavy. This is everything cha1n would want. It's working like a well-oiled machine, and it's making nosfa look uncomfortable.
Yeah, nosfa's on the ropes very much, so not connecting with anything. 1 of 7 rails so far. No real items to speak of, only 1 heavy. He's waiting down here, but at what cost? cha1n will not be missing out on the timing. He knows that nosfa's up to something.
The shenanigans from cha1n. Again, getting himself the heavy. Ooh. Timing on that as well. That could have been a rocket straight to the side of the end, but luckily it doesn't actually connect, and he's able to rocket jump himself up to peek, seeing if nosfa was lurking around towards the Mega spawn, which for now he's not. He's down in the depths, but he's certainly starting to come out from the dumps as he hits cha1n with a rail and equalizes their overall stack, putting them in close proximity for now.
Very slow game, but this is the way cha1n generally plays. nosfa quite happy for it to be slow because he's got nothing to work with, so he doesn't want to be contesting, just wants to hit some rails.
Bait play on the bounce pad. cha1n charging up with the LG. A couple of tags, little love taps before he fully commits to using the weapon once again. Rocket barrage coming in. There's the rail, leaves him so low. nosfa trades back with one of his own and nearly slays him, almost lopping his head off. But cha1n holds on, barely, but enough to get the kill and put himself 2-0 and heal himself back up as well. Taking another side swipe though as the Pika crashes into him. cha1n actually being able to take it down at the last possible second with 46 stack left.
Nice. nosfa's back in it. I mean, the previous flag, I think, shows how cha1n plays. So calculated and careful. Double rail here as well. Be able to take down cha1n. And nosfa's already tied it up. That was so quick. This is one of the potential challenges of the way cha1n plays, is that it doesn't often rack up big score lines, likes to be methodical. Because of that, nosfa's already back into the game. Big bruiser of the Brazilian man.
The big bruiser with a big banana railgun. As that yellow weapon's been able to pack a bit of a punch so far, and it keeps up as well. Another nice 90 coming out as nosfa taps him as he's bouncing by. making his move down towards the heavy. Nearly at 5 minutes. We're all tied up. 2 kills apiece. The map finish on nosfa's weapon, as he wants to leave him with some red decals, some blood painted on top if he can find an opportunity to hit cha1n in the face. Catches him on the drop down, clean connection, goes in on turret hunting duty as well, takes down both of the totems on close proximity towards the stairwell. This means that he'll win out for the heavy. Finally an opportunity where his stack is starting to build. cha1n peering over the ledge, he was lucky to not get uppercutted under the chin.
Yeah, and this game is very much in the balance now as nosfa's clawing his way back into it, got a decent stack, they're trading items. And his rail's beginning to connect as well.
Rocket going out. Couple of them, in fact, as he will fire off the warning shots to guarantee himself the opportunity to get that heavy. At least does. Throws the vest on his chest and wants to leave cha1n looking like a mess as he turns the corner, firing out a couple of rockets of his own. cha1n grinding back down the spiral staircase. Peeks. Doesn't get anything from it. Both of them have been tied up on 2 kills for quite some time now, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be changing anytime soon, although cha1n on the drop down looked like he was getting stuck on a bounce pad. It could have been some heavy hits that come out, but it won't be. It instead is just enough to spook him, send him packing so that nosfa can pick up that heavy and try and hold on to take him down before he gets mega. He will get it and he will get away. Wow.
cha1n is so low, sticking around, but the big rocket there will prevent nosfa from going in. Decides now is the time, but cha1n's already managed to get away for now. nosfa will be able to pick up this heavy as well, and if he can sweep around and get the mega, in a great position to take the lead. Although he's now delayed a little bit too long, and that gives cha1n a bit of a lifeline as he's able to get up and take away the mega to even out the stacks.
Oh, the rail peak on top of the ledge. Clean play. Nice use of the peeker as well. As he charges round the corner trying to take down the totem. Didn't realise that right behind him, that's where cha1n was. If he had eyes in the back of his head, he would have been completely starstruck. Look how low he is, Dan. And he will get it. Grasps on. As he'll somehow get the kill. Finally, a frag is established. Finally. We see the scoreline go 3-2 in favor of nosfa, the big Brazilian packing a punch, but being imploded by the rockets beating down on top of him.
That was so risky, but so smart from cha1n to drop down before he gets to mega. Surprise attack from above. nosfa did expect it the last second, but it wasn't enough, and cha1n ties it up. Good job, but nosfa here found his opponent. Doesn't get the totem help, and he will be going down.
Pika straight back up as the war cries come out. nosfa, at this point, a slight lead. Enough of a lead to take the map, though, if he can waste enough time here, and if cha1n can't actually close that gap, instigate a fight, and light him up like a match. 8 minutes and 30 have now gone by as nosfa drops down. Two close misses with the rail. If both of them would have hit, cha1n would be in an entirely different situation. 4 seconds until heavy's up. You can't contest for that. He's got to give it to him. He has to concede it. Mega's up in 5. This could still be close, though. Could still be awkward. Depending on how he plays this, and he drops off. Timing coming into question. He gives it up to cha1n. Stack is similar, but this is so beneficial for cha1n.
Yeah, cha1n made the big balls play, taking both major items. nosfa should have taken both. Had the stack advantage, had the position, or maybe it was a timing thing. But that lifeline for cha1n is huge. Is now after this heavy, he will just be going full frontal aggression. nosfa needs to hit this rail. It's huge. He does. That evens out the stacks. Now needs to just play super defensive. Keep those audio cues up. Know where he is. Now positioning. Rocket jumps up. He does take the mega, but what goes? Rockets aren't hitting. That one does. Knocks nosfa down low. They're both railable. So they both retreat for now, and there's still 30 seconds to go.
The final 30, this is it, your last chance to get into the scrap. cha1n has to make a big play. He's got to slay nosfa and leave him breathing no more. Laid out on the ground. That's the only way as he pushes back in. 15 seconds, chasing him down the stairway. The rocket's keeping him at bay. He's so close to death. And that will be the final hit as nosfa clutches it out 5-3. He takes down cha1n.
Wow. I said I could see him getting a single game, and maybe he'll prove me wrong and get more than one, but yeah, that was so well deserved considering how bad of a start he had. It looked like cha1n had a firm iron grip on that map. It was played at his tempo. That's the way he likes to play. But a common theme I say with cha1n when he loses maps is that he has the opportunity to really take them away from his opponent, and I don't think he puts his foot on the throttle enough. He just allows them back into the game sometimes. And that's exactly what he did. nosfa didn't overcommit when he was on the back foot. He played slow and steady. He played to cha1n's tempo. And then when he got control, he pressed the advantage. And cha1n didn't have big enough of a lead to sustain that.
Damn. cha1n feeling the pain on that one. Unfortunate for him as he will give up the ghost on the first map. Concede that. Give it away for nosfa. So Ruins being picked up. It's crazy as well. This long stint where this was finally how that third frag was capitalized upon after what, maybe like 4 minutes, then being tied up 2-2. Just balmy there. Really, really was quite balmy. It was quite an unorthodox style of Quake that we saw coming out from both of them. Now we at least move on to something that cha1n would probably be a little bit more happier to see, right? We're going into Vale. We're going into Vale where he is on keel. He used to do this all the time. This was like his go-to play.
Yeah, Vale is his map. I would definitely expect him to take this and see a very strong kill performance. But we saw Ranger take it away earlier by playing a high tempo, using the orb aggressively. And if nosfa can take those learnings from the hang, you never know. I mean, his rail, he grew into that game. His rail was shaky to start with. And by the end of it, he had like nearly 50%. So he definitely grew into it and got stronger and stronger. You know, he's got a bit of momentum to take it to map 2.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully nosfa should actually be pretty ecstatic off the back of that one. You'd hope that the momentum would be able to benefit him and at least give him a bit of oomph going into this. Ranger on Vale, it can still make some big plays. The Dire Orb can be huge if you can use it to your advantage. But kill with the pineapples, we've already seen it multiple times tonight, how effective those pineapples are on this map, how much impact you can have with them. Chaining them together with use of a rail, LG, or rocket to get that extra bit of burst damage off, yeah, you can take down some of the strongest opponents. And being up against the champion like Granger, he's not going to be as sustainable, right? Like, you're able to hit a couple of shots here, take down with a pineapple, easy that.
Easy. That's the theory, right?
In theory, yeah. We've seen it in practice, but, you know, is that going to carry on?
That's the question. It's to see what nosfa can do. I think, well, again, once again, rail will be a huge part of this game, no matter what cha1n's favourite weapon uses it so effectively, but also nosfa's. So whoever hits more rails will definitely have a good standing to continue their dominance on the map.
Well, here we go then. Vale of Naf coming up as we go into the second map in this series. At this point, nosfa leads with 1. Of course, it's a best of 3 if you want to make the most dosh. You want to get your readies, get your Wonga. You've got to make sure you capitalize on all 3 of these maps to give yourself the most points as well. This is week 1 of stage 2 of season 2. So points mean an awful lot right now. This is where you're really going to give yourself a great leg up throughout the course of the competition. But here we go then. Loading into it now as we kick this one off. Starting off on the POV of nosfa as the Ranger comes out with that shambler hand, but he won't be in shambles. He'll want to be continuing on from the hype he had back on Ruins.
That skin is so dope.
It is pretty sick. It's actually very sick. It does look comedic, but it is sick. Oh, hello. The big yellow. Must be a fan of the Beatles, Dan. It's like a big yellow submarine because he's making cha1n go under.
Nice reference there.
Reference game on point. Always got the sickest references.
Oh, the aggressive. Oh, he's pushed him off. He hasn't got
no!
The big man sliding down to the depths. Very much backward. He's going to go in, but he's going to eat a big rocket. The hand comes out and oh, it's gone down.
You cheeky gamer. My goodness, nosfa. You naughty, naughty man. Coming in. and just being a terror. Oh, this is ridiculous. Already a minute in, and it was a clean opening frag. The plays were lovely. Let's see if he can cook it up over the course of this one. cha1n looking to backstab him, chasing him down. Rockets going through the grill.
Oh, no.
The dire orb going out, but it's going to get stuck. That one's not going to win him any Skrilla. Instead, he's got to drop down, pick himself up, whatever he can. Freestyles, though, Dan. Does at least hit the nice 360 there.
Pinpoint rails, but not pinpoint orbs.
If you were a shape, what shape would you be, Dan?
Circle, mate.
You do go round and round.
Infinite.
I guess. nosfa doing infinite amount of damage at the minute, though, against cha1n, but it won't matter because he just keeps buffing it out with the items he's picking up. nosfa, not in a great spot. Does at least get the rocket off to keep cha1n in close nick. They go 1 for 1. Of course, being up against the heavy champion, right, it's that big aspect we talk about. On Vale, you come back in, you can hit hard. You can do so much damage straight off the back of spawn because of the size of your startings. That nosfa, though, oh, he's going to be looking like a snack as he has been gobbled up by cha1n. 2-1 now, Dan.
Yeah, you didn't want him to be seeing the big burly keel in a dark alley, and exactly what happened for the Brazilian. Dropping down, big shotguns coming out, and that's a lot of damage from nosfa. He's done enough to sustain himself, get away from cha1n. He's raining rockets from below. Can nosfa steal away this mega? Be a mightily ballsy play, and he gets it. He even gets the frag!
Mate, the shotgun special. Signs it like a signature with his buckshot. He puts him down. Rockets coming in, close connection. nosfa, he's going to be left with a frown, though, as cha1n's been able to hit him with a rail. Does get the edge. 3-2 split. 3 minutes in, and already 5 frags have been produced. This is a bloodbath. This is all kinds of slaughter, and he's catching him. Oh, crumbling to pieces, trying to keep himself alive. The brick and mortar of cha1n somehow holding on. 7 HP hits the rail, doubles it down. 4-2, capitalizes on the kill.
Long-range shotgun is not the play, though. If you're watching, guys, that's not the meta, trust me. But the double rail is as he rains down pain. Hand comes out, another rail, chipping away at keel, but the big pineapple, that will stall the advances for now. That's an aggressive push and slightly too aggressive.
cha1n leaving this ranger in danger. It's not looking good for nosfa now, as again, every time nosfa gets a kill, we're seeing the starting stack of cha1n coming into question. He gets these kills right off the back of the spawn. This time, though, he's the one on the back foot. He's the one struggling with stack. nosfa has the elevated angle, needs to get himself that heavy, will dive across, but he took so much damage, comes around the corner, as Big Papa Pump's gonna say hello and bust all over his face, taking down cha1n once more. 6-4, nosfa clawing back.
Clawing back indeed. The Mega's still up, but finally cha1n makes his way across to it. Catches nosfa out in the open here, will be going down and 0 damage retaliated on. So cha1n is now in a very commanding position to keep the tempo up. He's gonna pick up this heavy for free. And now nosfa, let's see what you're made of.
The close encounter of a very awkward kind, but it'll be the rocket that finally perforates its way through nosfa, pops him like a balloon, and lets him deflate. He's looking a little bit defeated here, especially when these shots keep on coming in. cha1n with the rail, nice 90, looking to follow it up with some rocket use as well, and of course that'll connect. 9-4 now, down 5 minutes in. He's building himself a very luscious lead. Nice. A lead that's only getting bigger with the fast flicks that are coming out. The ferocity of his railgun was tasty.
Yeah, despite all the crazy skill coming out from nosfa, it does feel that this map is reaching its conclusion of insurmountable pressure from cha1n. He's now died, but he will be able to get the frag even before the heavy picks up. Doesn't even actually want to get the frag, just decides to back off. And nosfa, wow, there were some serious rails. Okay.
Oh no. Oh, Dan, he's just been melted. He's gone.
Steps in it.
It's never ideal when you step in it.
I would recommend not doing that.
if avoidable, definitely try and keep your eye out. Don't step in it. 10-5 though, as cha1n is stepping all over him and leaving nosfa looking like some sort of puddle that he could probably mop up with a wet wipe in one foul swoop. Pineapple's going out though to make even more of a mess and prove that cha1n is the best right now, and this play certainly is! Straight through the teleporter, off the back of the vertical propulsion from the rocket, but it won't help him. It just sends him quicker into his demise, as the LG is going to capitalize and leave him lifeless on the ground. Face over the top rope, nosfa fully committing, tagging him time and time again. Quick switch back onto the rail. Good night to cha1n. 10-7, it's doable.
It's definitely doable. He's now got the heavy pickup. If he can, sorry, the mega pickup. If he can get the heavy as well, that will be huge. cha1n is already there, standing on it, claiming it, and he's also got the rockets to boot. Dancing through the telly. Can nosfa get a frag? Big rockets, and he can! The flick rail!
My goodness. nosfa, he had such a gap between him and cha1n. He's really started to close it out. He's grinding this one back.
This is the matchup. Look at the work he has to go through to get a single frag. And then big boy cha1n just spawns with like 100, 200 stack and just runs straight back at you. The rail combo, the pineapples. Oh, so much damage. And eventually he gets a frag. But still got time. Oh, so close.
cha1n! Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear. This is not what you want to see if you're a fan of the big Brazilian. Naughty nosfa that's now being taught a lesson. The school is in session and cha1n seems to be the teacher, and he's looking quite treacherous with the way he's playing this one. Laying down the law time and time again. 12-8. If nosfa's gonna get back in and be able to actually put some pressure on, he needs to do it fast like Ramadan, as cha1n's the one running through him, hits him with the LG, burns him to bits. 13-8. He's gonna try and take it to 14 as he boops him out of space with the rockets down.
Oh, well, that's the best reference I've heard from you for a while.
Cheers, mate. I do try my best. Ooh, pineapple's coming in, Dan. Quick switch back on from the rail, though.
Can he even get a
looking
frag?
mortal here.
Oh, he can't even get the frag, and cha1n retreats. He's picking up some health. He finally gets it. A little bit of time wasted. Both items are up, but nosfa needs to retreat to pick up the rocket, and that gives cha1n a chance to get on top. Great rail coming out. Eats the grenade through the telly. Big rocket to rail, but he's still alive. No, he misses the crucial clutch shot, and cha1n gets an ever so useful padding of his frags.
Oh, cha1n the big brain with a 400 IQ plays. The man does not stop, leaving you in disarray. Please, not the gauntlet. You can't be doing this. Put the blade away. Bag the Ramsey as nosfa pulls out the shotgun. 4 kills to find in the space of just under 60 seconds. Health advantage maximum, as cha1n's stack is absolutely outrageous. He is built like a house made of bricks. It would take a lot to blow him down. And nosfa, he doesn't have the lung capacity for it. He's chasing him down. Rails are coming out, but they're not connecting. They're missing, and time is ticking away. That's the big factor that he's going to be taking full note of. You've got 30 seconds, and this one is done. Vale has gone the way of cha1n, as he will pick it up. A hell of a map, though.
Welcome back, Vale of Nath.
Damn, it's good to have it back in the pool. And I can imagine that's probably the thought process that's going through the mind of cha1n, right? It's a map that he loved to play because of reasons like this. nosfa putting up so much of a fight there, though. It's surprising to see him actually being able to keep it so close and in tow.
Yeah, I was surprised at how close he kept it. And
yeah.
There wasn't really any mistakes. It was just cha1n hitting clutch shots at 66% rail. That was quite the match. Quite the match.
It was sick. It was really good. Chef's kiss on that one. It was beautiful. I loved it. If I could give it a Michelin star, I probably would, Dan, because it was a tasty, tasty treat. And both of these men are stacks. But we've still got more to go. Of course, there's a little bit left in this series, and I'm thankful there is. In terms of a back and forth, right? Now, obviously, equalizing immediately. You've been able to best cha1n on his map, really, in an environment where on ruins. That's a surprising result. You then go into Vale. Clearly, you've instigated the true cha1n to come out. You've poked the bear and you've been mauled. But we've still got one more map, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at that map in context, I know it's easy to say, but if any other champion except Keel there, cha1n could have well lost. Like, obviously his playstyle was built around playing it, but nosfa put up such a great fight to retaliate against that pick. It was always odds stacked against him. So, I mean, you've got to be confident going into the final map, but it is an hour map with Corrupted Keep, isn't it, without the rail. So that's been such a deciding factor for both of these players. They're going to have a huge adjustment.
Yeah,
facial expressions.
Got to rein it in. Matt, dude, honestly, the faces that nosfa pulls, they do tickle me. Like, when he's focused, you can tell he's so honed in.
Man, if I ever wasn't a Quake fan, I would watch this broadcast just for that, just for the face cams.
No, genuinely, it's actually sick. Like, shout out to PGL, the production guys have been killing it. I love you all so much. You're really good guys. Thank you for putting up with the stuff that comes out of my mouth. But yeah, it's actually sick. We get the face cams at every series now. Because you see so much personality as well. I think that's the cool thing about like Duel, right? It's like obviously where it is just one-on-one, you can spend that whole time being really quite intimate with a player and seeing the way they actually like physically react to a lot of the plays. It's really dope.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not playing now. My face cam would be glorious.
Ah, I don't think we'd see you, mate, because you have to get kills to be the one that's on screen.
Oh, fuck, man.
You've been done. You can't keep up with me. I'm too quick for you. I'm like a blue hedgehog, Dan.
I don't get it. I get it. It took me a while.
Oh, right. Well, Corrupted Keep, mate. Complete change of pace when you think about it. We've taken the rail away. It's not available. It's not going to be in commission. You're putting nosfa's BJ in the ring, though. And this man has a bloody good BJ. He is incredibly proficient with it. He can pull out some crazy plays, and I'm excited that we get to see it. But it's going head-to-head against Doomslayer. cha1n's on the Doom. You get the double jump. On Keep, there's times where Doom can be really effective at actually flipping a matchup on its head, purely just based off the double jump.
Yes, Doom is, well, probably the strongest pick on this map according to a lot of the players, but as you say, the Blazkowicz has such a good skill set as well. Not only the dual wield, which is incredibly powerful,
yeah,
particularly if you can lock down your opponent, but also even the passive. You know, get some, obviously it's a high tempo matchup. You're always taking damage. That passive really does add up over the course of the map where you're regaining that lost health. So it can be very, very good. Obviously, the Berserk is nigh on useless now. There's time and a place for it to get out quickly, but apart from that, you're never really going to use it, which also means Blazkowicz gets a higher uptime on his dual wield. So that can come into play a lot of times in this game.
Okay, here we go. We're into it. Third and final map. At this point, it is tied 1 map apiece. We're starting off on the Big Brazilians POV. It is time for nosfa. Will Blazkowicz be able to clutch away a win, or is he going to be eternally doomed here on Corrupted Keep against cha1n? Early damage coming out. Couple of tags from the MG. Fires out the rockets as well. It looks like he actually did want to swing on that, but he doesn't fully commit. We've got 6 seconds until that mega's up. cha1n's really just teasing him here, Dan.
He is, he's semi-trapped, so he's managed to get out scathed. Have a lightning gun or a rocket to work with, so doesn't want to show his face, but he's managed to survive a full rotation of items and actually get away with the heavy himself. So good job by cha1n. And nosfa's actually the one taking all the damage.
nosfa. 3 rockets left. Little hop to try and hit the shot with the rocket. It's not going to land. And he's down to only 1 in reserve as well. Doesn't have the biggest arsenal to play with, so he will need to get himself some rockets here and push back in towards the nail room. Luckily, it seems like he has been able to slip in without actually taking any damage for his troubles. Bit of a pre-fire there as well with the LG in case cha1n went to face. Timing-wise though, Dan, this is the scary part. You're looking at about a 4-second split between the major items, and they're not up for a good 10 seconds here
nice. Still. I mean, what cha1n just did takes so much patience and skill. To get away without any weapons for 2 minutes and to outdamage your opponents significantly is huge. He's also found and walked into nosfa, big rocket, but nosfa does come out decently healthy. Scuttles himself away. He's got all the weapons as well, so he's not too unhappy at this point in time. But cha1n's now got himself positioned up above the mega, tracking his opponent with the audio cues.
Ooh. All right. A couple of hits. Good use from the nail jump to get himself back up onto the top rope as well, but it feels like cha1n's the one that wants to hit him with the elbow drop as the lightning will strike hard, looking like 4. As he will overpower him. Drops back down onto the Mega as well and immediately patches out any of the damage that he had sustained. We're 2 minutes and 30 in. There's only been 1 frag, and that goes the way of the Canadian killer, the man that's trying to keep himself calm and collected and just waste time. Back off once again. 10 seconds until that heavy's up. He's got clear line of sight onto exactly where nosfa is, and he's going to have way more stack to play with. You're also looking at about 4 seconds, so there's a chance he could try and do something ludicrous if he wants to. Wow, okay, I'm surprised nosfa actually got away with that. It felt like that was going to be cha1n's capitalizing moment to get himself both major items, but instead nosfa drops in, plays with confidence. The big baller himself will be able to outplay and outslay, taking it back to a 1-to-1 stance.
Yeah, he's actually now got position on the heavy as well, so we'll be able to pick this up for free. Pops the dual wield. cha1n won't be aware of that, however, so he needs to be semi-wary. nosfa decides to delay instead of going and trying to rotate onto the Mega. Incredibly slow place, Corrupted Keepers. We're near approaching 4 minutes.
Yeah, it is wild when you think about it. Especially, right, the last Corrupted Keep game we had, what was it, like 17 frags for Cypher against Havoc, where he was just going in, fight after fight after fight, whereas here they're playing so reserved, so much respect being shown to one another, and I think they've definitely earned that mutual respect based off this series so far. It's been a close fight the entire time. Ugh. Issue is here, though. nosfa overpowered. The lightning fight from Frightening Heights not working well as cha1n able to get the heavy hits off and take him down. Burn into a crisp. Re-energized now. Looking to peek out once more again. Plasma flying towards his face. 3 seconds until Mega's back up. He's in position for it. And he could hunt right off the back.
Yeah, not entirely sure why nosfa took that fight. There was nothing to fight for, and he didn't have the best position to be fighting in. He also had the dual wield, which he didn't pop, so a cacophony of weird decisions from the Brazilian. But now he's in a good position. He's got the dual wield back up. You see the respect coming out from cha1n, not wanting to take any fight out in the open. nosfa chasing him around, gets bounced around with the rockets. It's pretty low. He doesn't get the Mega either. Somehow he's still alive, and cha1n is actually really low. Tricky footwork from the Brazilian, like Ronaldo there.
But I'd say this entire map at the minute is looking quite messy.
Oh my god.
5 minutes have gone by. It's a 2-to-1 split. cha1n, he is still in the lead though, Dan. There's a bit of a better arsenal to work with as well. He's tried to keep this in check the entire time. We do see the dual wield pop for nosfa, allowing him to close the gap back over by Mega. He wanted to swoop in for it there. Heavy hits, but not enough to capitalize. Yes, it's damage, but it doesn't get him the item he wants. And cha1n, he could be grabbing both. He's greedy. That's 2 ice cream cones in one go as he gets Mega and heavy and potentially a frag if he can shut him down here. Rockets going out. nosfa, he's really on a knife's edge.
Yep. cha1n is doing such an exceptional job of playing the positional game, using the audio cues perfectly throughout. Just trying to outmaneuver nosfa. nosfa desperately wanting to fight. The amount of times we've seen him pop a dual wield, hoping to take an engagement, and then cha1n just to retreat and outmaneuver him and getting no damage from it. But as we saw on map 1, this is the way cha1n plays. It's a low scoreline. A single mistake coming out from cha1n, we're tied up. Then an easy spore frag, suddenly he's losing. He has to play perfect.
OG, couple of tags, few 6s here and there. There's 2 guns for nosfa though, but cha1n!
There we go.
Oh, he's going to be the one that gets imploded.
There's no items up.
Drives into him, yeah. This is looking rough down as well. We can cha1n these back together immediately. So nosfa now picking up a second.
And another one.
Oh, surely not a third. The rocket damage could be clutch. The shotgun's pulled out, but will it be enough to snuff him out? Of course it will. As cha1n overpowered, broken. He has to eat some slugs from the shotty, and it does not taste good. He is not a fan of escargot. Oh, mate. Tracing's looking really good from nosfa here with the way he's playing. He's also got the dual wield to work with. Brilliant timing, not even for the major item, just for the fact that he wants to murder the man, as he will kill him. 5-2. cha1n. He is in a position here down, but he can drop the series. That's a full 100. Straight back in with the LG. Rocket to LG combination. nosfa teaming with confidence.
He is, and he's got himself a commanding lead now. cha1n forced to take these aggressive maneuvers, and they're not working. The big Brazilian taking this one home.
Surely it's got to be done. cha1n, yes, he finds that one, but he's still got so many more. He's got to pick up kill after kill. nosfa, a terror from the public square right now, as he's not making any errors at all. It's been flawless with the way he's been playing it out for the past couple of minutes, and cha1n, he's getting bullied. He has to drop back through the teleporter, grabs himself the LG to work with, peeks on top of the statue, and he hits his own 100. That should be a clean-up kill. Will bring himself to 4. 3 frags to find in the space of nearly 2 minutes. It's doable. It's just going to be hard, but the rockets are coming out, and SpaceX is in town as cha1n detonates him. nosfa looking like a rundown fairground, Dan. There's not a lot to go on.
Not, but there's still 2 rides open as he has a little buffer of a lead, and only a minute to go. cha1n suddenly picks up the pace. nosfa's suddenly got the dual wield up as well, so he's quite happy to stand here and force cha1n. That's going to delay him ever so slightly. He's also got position for the mega. Big rocket to the face, and he's taken an extra frag lead.
He's back in, keeping himself in the game and not letting this one slip away. He does not like the idea of cha1n taking this series by the skin of his teeth. He wants the 2-1 victory, and if he can maintain this pace for a few more seconds, that's the way it's going to go. Keeping himself alive is all he's got to do. He is low and he will fall, but in 30 seconds, cha1n has to get 2 kills back to back, and that's only to push us to overtime, not even for the win.
Once again, the dual wield's up, instantly pops it, so he has one more go at it. cha1n pushes in, he needs to do some damage, but no, vamos, nosfa! He will be taking the series 2-1, fully deserved. And the
the Brazilian brawler hits him with the uppercut. Oh, the gloves are off, ring the bell. This one's turned into a street fight. cha1n has just been laid out. nosfa's taken it. That's a huge 2-1, Dan. nosfa's overpowered him.
You know, he wrestled him to the ground, he's pinned him, and he says, "This is my game, bitch," and he fully deserves that. I think, like, I felt cha1n had it in his grasp, but he just doesn't seem to push his advantage. A 2-1 lead is not enough. He needs to try and extend that, and nosfa obviously was the one trying to posture and be aggressive, and it paid off at the end of the day. As soon as he had the lead, he just pushed and pushed and pushed, racked up enough frags, enough of a buffer where he could make more mistakes. He could force cha1n into these aggressive situations and continue to trade, and that was enough.
There you go. And it also has provided us with a quote for my personal Twitter called Out of Context ZSX Quotes. I'm going to add that one to the list because I think that was a banger. Much like this series was done, because honestly, nosfa, he's gone up with a bang. He has really popped off here tonight. A hell of a matchup. All in all as well, all 3 of these maps were absolutely sick. Vale was fantastic to watch. When you cast your mind back to the way that was played, how close it was from a standpoint of both of them fighting tooth and nail. You come on here to keep as well. nosfa just really gave it his all. And this, for me, was vintage nosfa, Dan. Aggression, fast tempo, hitting some outrageous shots, and going for gambles. And it's so sick to see him have that confidence, because the amount of respect they were showing each other for like the first 5 minutes, that all went out the window.
It did indeed. It took 6 minutes to kick into gear, but then it never looked back. And as you said, the whole series, start to finish, was so fun. The first map was an absolute blister for nosfa. Then cha1n showed us why Vale is such a strong pick for him, but for nosfa to push it to the wire was incredibly fun to watch. And that map was a mix of strategy and outright brawling at the end as well.
Boy, oh boy. There you have it, nosfa, the 2-1 victory over cha1n. Man, I don't think that's one that a lot of people would have seen coming. I definitely think it's not what we would have predicted going into it based off what's been happening in bracket play recently, what's been happening in the leagues as well. Wow, cha1n looking mortal for once, Dan.
Yeah, he had much more of the items. He just got out-battled, really, at the end of the day. And yeah, I wouldn't have expected it. I thought it was going to be 2-1 to cha1n. I said I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2-1 to nosfa, but I feel a little bit surprised because that was commanding.
No, yeah, like especially the way he got into his groove as well, and how close it was. Where there was like a thimble's distance between them, where cha1n certainly could have closed the gap and actually kept it going, got himself back into still have potentially won it, and then that just bloated out of control. The whole thing changed. It was flipped on its head, and nosfa's taken it. 2-1 victory. nosfa locks it down, our second 2-1 of the night. All of the other games have been 3-0s, and at this point, it leaves us in a position where the only games we have left are our featured fights, the biggest brawls, the games we've saved. Quite special because, of course, DJ Wheat's going to be joining us for these as well. There should be some very electrifying matchups that are still left to come. When we come back after the break, we are going into Razy versus Garpy, the Maestro Madmen that are going to be going head to head. You will not want to miss that one. We'll be back with that after the break.